This is TWiT.
Tim Cook says Apple's greatest contribution to mankind will be coming in 2019, and it will be health-related. This is part of that Jim Cramer interview.
I think those are two separate things.
Oh, they're separate?
I think he said that in number one, we got new services coming up in 2019, and then our greatest thing for mankind is going to be health.
Oh, okay.
And I believe both things.
So,
yes.
So I shouldn't say there will be new health services in 2019. In fact, it's probably a new video service, maybe a new news service.
New publishing stuff for the magazine company they bought, and new video service. Yeah.
And you think next year we'll be seeing healthcare, Renee?
Texture. I think.
It'll be constant. Like they are really all in on health, and it was sort of serendipitous for them because again, like they'll tell you the story that they only wanted an accurate calorie count for Apple Watch, and because of that, they made a heart rate monitor, and then they saw all the data they were getting off the heart rate monitor, and then Jeff Williams, who was running Watch at the time, got very interested in health, and they started doing Research Kit and Care Kit, and I think that's the sort of thing that they're going to incrementally grow as they see new opportunities. Like they've done healthcare records now, and they also have the Apple technology where you can use your watch as a badge, and it starts to get really interesting. Like it's easy to imagine one day you'll walk into a clinic, you'll tap your Apple Watch, and that will grant permission for that clinic to access your healthcare records, and it'll be a private transaction that you have complete authority over, and they'll know your entire history, what medication you're on, what health issues you have, your previous thing.
Really becomes a big deal.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I think Apple really believes that they can leverage is that like they originally they were absolutists about trust, about privacy, but then they saw that with the healthcare industry, they had people who, for example, because of their conditions, couldn't keep track of their medication or couldn't accurately report back what they were doing with the research studies. So if they created the ability for them to grant explicit permission for some of that information to be shared, and they found out that when it was done, like that old Steve Jobs things, ask them again, then ask them again. tell them in simple language, in plain language, and do it until they ask you to stop asking them. But once they implemented that, you're getting all these amazing studies onto things like multiple sclerosis, which we previously had multiple medications, and they would have to guess which one to give you, and postpartum depression, and all these other studies. And it's proving that Apple, if you are in a trusted position like Apple, you can start to do some pretty amazing things in the healthcare industry.
Yeah, and these people, these studies that Apple is doing, those people have said that they've never had so many people sign up for the studies and want to be part of the studies, which helps the medical community. They get more information than what they've ever had before. They get a wider variety of people signing up for these. So I agree. I think that healthcare is going to be one of the biggest things that Apple ever does.
Tim Cook said in this interview on healthcare in particular and your well-being, this is an area that I believe if you zoom into the future and you look back and you ask the question, what was Apple's greatest contribution to mankind? It will be about health.